Cup Check. Hello friends, Steve Dangle here, and welcome to the annual tradition that is Cup Check, where I make an LFR style video after every single game of the Stanley Cup Final. And this year, we have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden Knights. And in game one, Vegas wins 5-4 over the Hurricanes. Let's talk about it. And before you start chirping me, I'm on the verge of getting swept by tree pollen. They are mopping me. This is a very intriguing Stanley Cup Final. In it, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, who have not been back to the Stanley Cup Final since they won the Stanley Cup all the way back in 2006. Imagine having to wait all the way from 2006. That must have been really hard for you. And then there's the Vegas Golden Knights, who, despite only joining the NHL in 2017 with their first game, are in their third appearance in the Stanley Cup Final and looking for their second Stanley Cup. But a storyline has taken over. Everyone is excited for this guy that the Leafs basically just tossed to the curb. This guy who the Leafs clearly didn't appreciate. This guy who wasn't able to have the impact in the playoffs that Leaf fans wanted, but he is having that in Vegas. Ben Hutton, no one will shut up about him, which is weird because he wasn't even playing in this game. I don't understand the narrative. This game, to me, was 3 games, and it's why I'm so confident that Vegas is going to win the Cup. Like, I've been beating that drum for weeks. At very least, we know it's going to be an entertaining series because this was a very entertaining game. A lot of people going, oh, it's going to be really low offense. There were 9 goals. But as a Leafs fan, it's okay. I've made peace with this weeks ago. Vegas is going to win the Stanley Cup. I said in 6 games. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less, but they're winning. Sorry, Hurricanes fans who are watching this. It's actually not your fault. Here's why I say this was 3 games. Because to start the game, shot out of a cannon, boom! There goes Nikolai Ehlers with a break, snipes it, 1-0. What? He scored! Are you joking me? The first shot of the 2026 Stanley Cup Final! 25 seconds in! Finds its way to the back of Vegas's net, and the Hurricanes have opened the scoring with a 1-0 lead. That's crazy! After getting the secondary assist on that one, Jalen Chatfield says, hey, how about I just send you on another journey? And Nikolai Ehlers gets his second Stanley Cup Final goal of the period. And just when it looks like Carolina is going to run Vegas out of the building, what does Vegas do? Go to the net! This is credited as Shea Theodore's goal, and Shea Theodore was unbelievable in this game, but it happens because Keegan Colasar goes to the net. Such an underrated playoff performer for Vegas for years. So, even though Carolina is out shooting Vegas 12-4 after 1, it's 2-1. And Vegas is only a shot away from tying it. But that was game 1 of game 1, and Carolina won it. What's game 2 look like? Opening 30 seconds of the period, Carolina's got Slavin and Chatfield out there. They've been so dependable for them. But did you know that on the average shift, defensemen only make up about 40% of the guys you have on the ice? It's less if you include the goalie. Jack Eichel, who was brilliant in this game, finds Ivan Barbashev alone in front. Can't happen, did happen. It's a tied game. The air just flies out of the balloon and out of the building very early on. And Vegas goes, well, it worked, so should we try it again? Let's try it again. Mitch Marner, brilliant pass, finds William Karlsson again alone in front, scores! Vegas has not only tied it from 2-0 down, but they have the lead. But a little bit later, off a nifty play at the blue line and a nice feed from Keandre Miller, Jordan Staal rips it. So even though Carolina is completely reeling during this period, they were always a shot away from tying it, and then they did. So the first stanza of this game, Carolina, much better team, but Vegas finds a way to stay in it. Second period, Vegas, much better team, Carolina finds a way to stay in it. Then the third period begins and mix in a decent start, Carolina. Shea Theodore throws it on. It's nasty, and Brett Howden finds a way to get a piece of it. 11th goal of the series. Here's the thing. This is a good goal. This is a really good goal. Prior to this goal going in, Freddie Andersen had 2 stretches in this game. The first stretch was he allowed 3 goals on 8 shots, and I don't care how good the chances were, mix in a save, that's the gig. The second stretch of the game is where Freddie Andersen might have been the best Hurricane on the ice, at least the only one doing anything. And I look at that one, and I'm like, it's a good tip. It's a good pass and it's a good tip. It's a Stanley Cup Final. It's a Stanley Cup Final. The only sort of justification I will give to Freddie is Carolina did not get it back on the rails from their bad second period until partway through the third. So Vegas has the lead again. Carolina gets a power play. Are they able to do anything with it? And this thing's a gift. It is a gift. Rasmus Andersson gloves the puck and holds onto it. And by the way, like immediately after throwing the puck, gets popped by Jordan Staal. They didn't call that. They called gloving the puck. That's a gift. That is a gift from the hockey gods. And the Hurricanes just said, return to sender. This is absolutely the kind of thing that could lose the Carolina Hurricanes, not just the series, but the Stanley Cup, because that is what's at stake here. Heading into this game, the Hurricanes were tied for the 12th best power play in these 2026 playoffs. They dropped to 13th now. 12.1%. They didn't get a shot. Now, Vegas has a good penalty kill. They have a very good penalty kill. Carolina's got a very good penalty kill, and I thought they performed well in this game. Vegas at least looked dangerous at times. I don't know how the Hurricanes have this capability of throwing up like 35, 40 shots in 75% of the games they play and have one of the worst power plays I've ever seen from an allegedly elite team. They're not alleged. They came into this game with a 12-1 record in the playoffs. Why can't they score a power play goal? Why can't they get a power play shot? Shane Gostisbehere says, hey, the penalty's over. We can get back to business now. And the Hurricanes said, oh, okay. There's an icing. I personally don't think it should have been an icing, but it goes against Vegas. Hurricanes win that faceoff. Hurricanes get the puck. Shane Gostisbehere gets the puck, and he rips it. Number 4 gets number 4 for Carolina. It's 4-4. And ooh, if that led to Carolina winning this game, torts would have been cross. A lot of people would have been cross. And I kind of think they would have had a point. But it was no matter because although he tied the game with a great shot, Thomas Hertl embarrassed Shane Gostisbehere. Hertl with the give and go with Colton Sissons. Colton Sissons, by the way, holy cow. What a pass from him on this play. And Hertl roofs it. Again, it's a good shot. Again, mix in a save. I'm more on the side of that's a really good play. Player got away from the defenseman. It's a good shot. The other ones, But I want to take a minute on Colton Sissons, a second-round pick of the Nashville Predators from 2012. He has, kind of really under the radar, 756 career NHL games. And almost 700 of those games were with the Nashville Predators because he was with the Predators every year of his career up until this one. Actually, that's not entirely true because he makes his NHL debut, plays 17 games with the Preds, and then the next season does not sniff the NHL at all. Even the 15-16 season, he splits between the AHL and the NHL. His career highs are 15 goals and also 35 points. He has not been a plus since 2022, and that includes this season. And a lot of his career playoff runs didn't feature much offense, except he was actually pretty good when the Preds went to the Cup Final in 2017. 6 goals, 6 assists for 12 points in 22 games for a young player in this league. That's pretty good. He had 7 points in 13 games the next playoff, and then after that, his high was 2. I honestly thought he was one of Vegas's best players on the ice in this game, and that is a beautiful setup for Hertl. I just wanted to give him his flowers. Flower. There you go. And then the Hurricanes pull Freddie, and now it resembles a power play. And you're not scoring. You know, they say the deeper you go in the playoffs, and this is pretty deep in the playoffs, the more the whistles go away. But it's funny, the whistles always find a way. Did the refs call much in this game? No. But this game also featured a closing your hand on the puck penalty and a puck over the glass penalty. The whistle finds a way. Even if the whistle doesn't find a way, and there aren't many power play opportunities, that makes them more precious. No, Vegas didn't score on any of their power plays in this game, but Carolina's going to have to find a way to make their power play a positive factor for them, or this cup run is going to be awful brief. Vegas takes game 1 thanks to a shot block at the very end by Mitch Marner. Now, Some of you are going to say, Mitch didn't actually even mean to block that. He was kind of jumping to get out of the way and like fell into the puck and it hit him and it looked like it hurt and then it went into the corner and the game was over. And to that I would say, cope and seethe. He jumped into that going, this is for all the times you didn't believe in me. And that's how he blocked it. Blocked in, more like blocked in. And Vegas takes game one. Questions. Did the extra rest actually help or hinder Vegas? Sloppy game on both accounts, right? Sorry, before I answer that, what is your jersey? Is that a Blue Jackets jersey with number 70 Corpi Diem? Like Corpusalo? I need to know the full story of you ordering that jersey now. Sorry, what was your question? Did the extra rest actually help or hinder Vegas? Sloppy game on both accounts. Well, I mean, they didn't look good in the first. They look awful in the first, but they adjusted pretty quickly. Listen, I find John Tortorella to be exhausting, but he's obviously a good coach, and they have essentially not lost under him, and they have a lot of comeback wins. Now, they did under Bruce Cassidy as well this season, but I think part of the reason they're able to come back so well, they have the star power on offense and the depth, but also they're just coached really well. So I don't know if they were rusty coming out of this one. Carolina's also just a really good team, and they were really well prepared for this. I mean, Vegas could have mixed in a save or two earlier. There were a few good saves on both sides in this game, but generally speaking, the goaltending was poor. But it made for a pretty exciting night from a series that a lot of people said would be a defense-only affair. Next one, Canes fan here. This series is definitely going 7, isn't it? Is my blood pressure going to be okay by the end of this thing? I don't know that it's going 7. It might go 7. Canes are losing. Like, I don't like saying that. They're losing. And again, it's not your fault. It's Toronto's. But, like, that is what's happening. I made peace with this first period of the Colorado series. I'm like, yeah, okay, they're winning. They beat Utah, and I'm like, meh. They beat Anaheim, and I'm like, meh. One period of Colorado, I'm like, yeah, they're winning the cup. It doesn't matter who they play. This is Carolina, Montreal. It doesn't matter who's winning that series. It's all a waste of time. Lastly, so a controversial former Leaf winger is helping Vegas win after 2 years of some Florida team winning the cup. But enough about Phil Kessel. Marner is winning the Conn Smythe, right? Yep, he is. And I made peace with this, again, weeks ago. And that's fine. I've talked about this many times. I'm probably going to talk about it a lot more times. Game 1 is not the time. I'll talk about it after he wins the Stanley Cup and Conn Smythe. Both things that he is going to do. It's just a matter of when. So, what'd you think of this game? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Game 2, I'll be streaming it, is on, what day is today? A Thursday. I hope my voice is okay by then.